Hey guys, it's Tyler Calfer again. Back here for video number 2. I've put out my first video the other day. Seemed to get a few responses and whatnot, and to those who did, I want to say thank you very much. To those who just watched my video, thank you also. That was great. I really appreciate people checking out my stuff and whatnot, and I hope you enjoyed my story, my first one. I got a second one here. It's another God story. This is all just like stuff that happened throughout my addiction, that I attribute all to God. And I explain why. And how it was like He made a tailor-made deal for me. And that's how God. I just want to say, like, that's just how like God is, and not everybody's the same. I mean, some people are just like, good things happen to them, like they fought, like, with or without God, who knows, like, it's just like good things happen and whatnot. And some people can just like turn to God like at a couple years old, and like that's how they are the rest of their lives, and they're good and whatever, and but everybody has their own story with God, and God works differently with everybody. Okay, God does not do the same thing over and over. He does not repeat himself. Okay, just like the flood. Okay, God sent Noah a rainbow. Why? To promise him that he would never flood the earth again in that way. Because he doesn't work the same way over and over again. He works. It's always different. But this is just like, I'm just trying to explain. It was like, it's all the stories I'm going to present and whatnot, and I'm going to share other stories as well. It's just like, I really want to like push out there like some work God has been doing in recent times. Like, we forget about, we forget to look at certain things as miracles and whatnot, I think. And, I'm just trying to explain here. I think this was all miracles. It was like a tailor-made deal miracle for me personally. And I just want to share that with you, because if God could work with a low life meth head like myself, who I was at the time, I'm 8 years sober now. But if he could work with me, he can work with anybody. Okay. And I also want to push this also. No, you do not have to take yourself all the way to the bottom to find God. Okay, like, that's just what happened with me. Okay, I started doing drugs, started selling all my stuff, and like just everything. I hit rock bottom eventually, and that is where drugs will get you. By the way, I just want to clarify that before I go any further. Anybody was like listening to my other videos and stuff, and they're like, that kind of sounded a little bit fun. No, do not. Okay, drugs will get you absolutely nowhere. You might have fun for like a while, a few years and whatnot, but it'll all catch up to you. Okay, it is a dead end road, and I'm not trying to just sound like a don't do drugs, just say no. I'm not trying to sound like that. I've lived this life, so I'm able to tell you it is a dead end road. So, anyways, also too, I want to say, I'm not an expert in anything. I didn't clarify that in the first video, but I just want to say this. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a scientist. I'm not in law enforcement. I'm nothing. Like, I'm just an average 40-hour-a-week American man. Okay, and this is what happened to me, and this is how God has worked through my life in recent times. And so here we go. Oh, also too, one more thing. Thank you, Pennsylvania State Police. Okay, thank you, all law enforcement in the state of Pennsylvania also, and all law enforcement nationwide. When I was in my drug addiction and stuff like that, I looked at the cops as like the enemy. I didn't want to put harm towards them or anything, but it was just like, if I saw a cop, it's like, oh, we got to get out of here, yo. Like, they're the enemy. Like, they're just looking, they're bad. They're gonna cause you to stop living the life you want to, and that is not the case now. Okay, I have all fully respect for all law enforcement all over the place, and they do good things, and I'm about to explain to you now how they played a part in getting me sober. So my life was saved thanks to Jesus and the Pennsylvania State Police. So thank you, Pennsylvania State Police, men and women both. You guys are great, especially your canines too. So here we go. I don't know what day it was. I know it was morning. I was at a friend of mine's house. There was a few of us there, and this girl came who I'd known. I was friends with her as well, but she came at some point in that morning, and she asked me if she could borrow my car. Like, she hung out for a little bit, and then she's like, went in, like, I need to see my kid today. I don't have a ride there or anything like that. Could I borrow your car? And at first I was like, well, it's uninspected, windshield, uninsured, all that. It's totally illegal. Like, I can't let you borrow it. And then eventually she's like, at first she's like, I understand. And then she's like, well, I'll offer you some drugs, if you'd let me use it. Like, I'm really desperate. And so maybe this was just me, but when you're in that, like, you're addicted to something, it's very easy to convince you to do things you normally wouldn't, and all they have to do is offer you a little bit of drugs for it, and you're so willing to throw your morals out the window and just say, oh yeah, sure. So she offered me some drugs, and I was like, here's the keys. Be safe. And so she goes, and I really didn't mind that she had my car. I had nothing going on, and plus two, now I had drugs. So I honestly could care less if she took that car to California at that point. I'm sure once my drugs ran out, I would have been upset. But anyways, she goes, and I'm still at the house with a group of people, partying all day. And I think we did some yard work and stuff. Like, I went out and was trimming a tree and stuff like that. I remember that. Anyways, it gets later in the day. It's nighttime now. It's close to like 11, 12 o'clock. My car's still not back. Still don't care because I'm still high. Screw that car. And then another friend comes, and he gets dropped off, and then he starts like saying how he needs to get to his house for whatever. And he asked me if I could give him a ride. I said, oh, so and so has my car. I can't really get you a ride right now. It's like, is she bringing it back? I was like, she said she'd be back some point today. And he's like, wait a minute, this is him saying, he's like, wait a minute, she's had your car all day, said she'd be back, and she's still not, and you haven't heard from her? It's like, no. He's like, yeah, man, I bet you something's up. You should probably message, like. And then he's also saying, he's like, if you can get your car back, can you give me a ride home? I'll give you some drugs. So at that point, my mind starts rolling. I'm like, all right, even some more drugs. All right, I need that car now. That's just how it is when you're addicted. Like, I can't stress this enough. When you are addicted, you get to that point in addiction, that is the one and only thing you care and think about is drugs. That is your number one. Okay, and it is an awful, awful place to be. But anyways, offers me some more drugs. I get on the phone, texting, and I say to her, hey, can you bring my car back? And she's like, no. And at first, I'm like thinking, and like I said before, I didn't really care, but now, like, I'm getting able to get some more drugs and whatnot, and it's been a long time, so she's like, no. And I get a little irritated. It's really quick to it's really easy to turn negative real quick when you are on these particular drugs. And by the way, just to clarify, the drugs of choice was crystal meth. So I get irritated. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is my car. You've had it all day. You haven't contacted me all day. I'm asking for it back, and now you're telling me no. Like, it's just, I was irritated. So I'm expressing that irritation towards a friend of mine, and he's like, you know what, dude? It's your car. You have an extra key for it, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, ask her where she's at. So I sent a message like, where you at? And she said, I'm at my house. I'm like, okay. All right, well, me and my friend are coming to get my car since you're not going to bring it back. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, this is where we're at, and you can come and pick it up. Said, okay. So we have to find another friend to give us two a ride. And eventually, and he never did ask for the drugs back, which I thought was weird because he gave me a decent little bit. The person who gave us a ride to go get my car, we first went and dropped off the friend who I was going to give a ride. We dropped him off first. His house was in line first. And he gets out and goes, and I still have the drugs that he gave me. So then we go, and I get dropped off at the girl's house who had my car. She comes out. She's like, I was going to bring it back and whatnot. We just got busy and stuff like that. It fully explained everything. It was cool, and she even gave me some cigarettes. And I go to get in the car, and it's like completely cleaned. Like, up until this point, my car, I was rolling around, like, driver's side, and part of the passenger side was like the only open spots in my car. The rest of it was like full of junk, like shovel heads, tools, birdhouses, like backpacks, camping gear. Like when you're on that particular drug, I don't know what it is. It's like real easy to hoard things and collect things that you think you look at and it's like, oh man, I could turn that into something and get some money for it or something like that. And it's just like these crazy impossible thoughts that you come up with that you think are so obtainable and achievable, but at the end of the day, in a sober mindset, you look at it, you're like, that's crazy. So my car's full of all that crap. And I go to get in the car now, picking it up, and it's all cleaned out. Okay, it looks like the car had been through a car wash, full detail, everything. Everything that was like actual junk, like wrappers and stuff like that, got thrown away. All the stuff of like somewhat value or whatever, like the tools and things like that, was all piled like very neatly in the trunk. And so she gives me some cigarettes, and we're on our way. Like, have a good night. Yeah, you too. Like, thanks again. And where I'm at, I'm driving down this road. It's just like a straight road. It goes on 100, 200 yards, something like that. And then in front of there's a stop sign. You come to a stop sign, and then the main highway runs in front of that. So I'm riding along. I get down to like 50 feet or so from that stop sign, and here he comes. Pennsylvania State Police SUV right in front of that stop sign. And the area I was coming from was kind of like a known area where like drugs have been going on and whatnot. So they kind of have their eye on that area. And let me just tell you something real quick. Cops are not stupid. Okay, you might think you like know more than they do. They don't. Okay, if you were involved in some type of activity or whatnot, chances are they already have your picture, and you might think you're getting away with stuff, but you're really not. And I can talk about that privately with people if you wish. I will tell you all kinds of stuff. And not to like try to sway law enforcement and stuff. It's just people need to realize, okay, they are the law. They're here for a reason, and they're doing good. Just want to stress that, okay? So they're not stupid. They drive by. They seen me just coming out of that area alone. Yeah, I raised suspicion towards them, but then also too, they saw my car, and prior to that, I had some kind of run-in with them before. It was just like a traffic stop thing, and so they knew my car. It was on the radar. They knew it was uninsured, uninspected, windshield busted out. So I was on their radar. Right after the stop sign is a pull-off spot. He pulls right in that pull-off spot and sits. Gets the stop sign. Oh man, I'm kind of freaking out. Turn on my turn signal. Start heading down the road. At this point, cops are now behind me. They pulled out right behind me. I pull the drugs out of my pocket, and the whole time I'm driving, I'm like, where am I going to put this? What should I do with this? Like, oh man, do I put it on me? Like, do I try to hide it on me? Do I try to hide it in the car? I was like, one thing's for certain, Tyler, these cops are not going to find your drugs. Like, we have to do something here. This is like SEAL Team 6 stuff right now. Like, you got to be on it. So I'm just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Where am I going to put it? On me, in the car. What do I do? What do I do? That's just like my whole mindset while I'm driving. We finally get to a point where he hits on his lights. Okay, he's probably ran my plate and stuff already. Turns on his lights, and at this point I'm like, all right, Tyler, you're out of time. Time's up. And I'm just instantly, I'm like, we're hiding it in the car. I reach over, go to put it underneath my passenger side seat, somewhere under there. And it's dark in my car. Obviously, it's nighttime. I have no idea, and I'm kind of like freaking out. And so I go to reach over, put it underneath the front seat somewhere, the passenger side front seat. And as I'm doing that, I say out loud, real loud, I said, dear God, please, please do not let him find this, as I'm putting it underneath my seat. And I put it under there, come back up, and that's it. I didn't even look down. I didn't even know where I put the drugs or if they even like stayed where I wanted them to. Who knows? We come up. There's a parking lot just up a little bit of ways. I should have pulled right over. Like when the cops turn their lights on, you just put your turn signal on and pull off at the next available spot. But I'm thinking, the way my car is, if it sits along the road, it's just going to get towed, and I can't afford that. I guess the same thing could have happened in the parking lot too, but in my mindset, I'm just like, get in that parking lot. Pull in the parking lot, and I'm sitting there. Lights are flashing, like that's the scene, and hands are on the steering wheel, windows down. And I hear the door shut, and then I start hearing the footsteps. and my heart's just sunk. I mean, it's sinking. I'm sweating bullets. And he comes up, lights right in my face. Mr. Kaufer, how you doing tonight? And I said, and it was the same exact officer who had stopped me a few months prior. So I'm not saying it's odd. It's just like, I'm telling you, things work in mysterious ways. Same exact officer. How you doing tonight? Oh, not too bad. How about yourself, officer? Well, we were doing pretty good, and then we seen you coming out of that area. Like, what were you up to up there? I was just picking up my car, explained kind of a story to them. Picked up my car, heading home to my mom's. I was like, I got a job interview tomorrow, this and that and whatnot. Okay. Well, I see you still haven't got your windshield fixed. I see you're still uninspected. He said, I'm assuming you're still uninsured as well. I said, you're very correct, officer. I'm not going to use his name. I'm just going to refer to him as officer. You're very correct, officer. Well, are you up to anything tonight? Are you on any drugs? No, sir, I'm not on any drugs. As I'm explaining this in real life right now, I just want to explain, I don't know if this could get me in trouble or not. I really hope that it doesn't, because I have completely changed my life around, and this was like almost a decade ago that this happened now. But anyways, I'm gonna explain how I lied to the officers and that kind of thing. So here it goes. I mean, if this brings somebody to God, I guess it's worth it. I really hope I just really hope I can't get any trouble from this now. But are you on any drugs tonight? No, sir. That was a lie. Is there anything in your vehicle that we need to know about? No, sir. That was also a lie. Do you mind if we search your vehicle? Yeah, sure. I mean, my car's completely clean. You seen it how it was a few months ago. I was like, that did not change until tonight after I picked up my car. All right, well, step on out. And I guess even that was a lie, because I really did not want him searching my vehicle. But, cop asks to search your vehicle, let them. Okay? If you have nothing to hide, let them search your vehicle. Even if you do have something to hide, let them search your vehicle, because I'm telling you what, when you learn what happened to me after all this, maybe that's like what should happen to you as well. Just let them search your vehicle and let something happen. And, maybe getting in a little bit of trouble would do you some good, as weird as that might sound, if you're involved in illegal lifestyles. So anyways, get out of the car. He sends me back to his cruiser. There's another police officer back there. He says, just sit on my bull bar. I said, okay. And I start making some small talk with the other officer. And, he, starts searching my vehicle. Driver's side seat. I'm not up here to see what all he was doing and stuff like that, but driver's side seat, I see the flashlight moving around. I see some shadows. So he's like looking through my middle console and all that, up in the sun visor, that kind of thing, looking in the seats, under the seats. Moves to the driver's side, back seat, same process and everything. Comes around to the back where all the stuff is stacked neatly now, and he cracks that back and it opens up, and oh my goodness, like, if you could just see the sight, like, I mean, you could just look at it, like, if you were considering about doing drugs, or especially this kind of drug, all I would have to do is, like, if I had a screenshot of the way my trunk looked and the stuff that I had on me, just from the drugs I was using, it would be enough to, like, turn some people away. They'd be like, wow, that is, like, sorry for my language here, but that is batshit crazy. So he opens up the back hatch, and I mean, there's backpacks and tools and birdhouses, and like, it just looks like a mobile flea market of junk. He starts rummaging through some of that and whatnot, and closes the hatch, moves over to the passenger back seat, starts looking at that, and my heart, I thought, had already sunk so low, but it just kept on sinking and sinking, because he's getting closer and closer to that front seat. And closes the back door, moves up to the front seat, and I'm almost ready to just, like, flat out confess everything, like, before he gets there, but I don't. And he's up there and he's looking around. He's looking hard, like, even, like, because at this point, this is the last spot. I'm just, like, speculating here. This is like the last spot in the car he's checking, and, like, he hasn't come over anything, and he's really wanting to find something, because I'm pretty sure he suspected some stuff, as he had every right to. He's a state cop. His senses are keen. he's looking hard. He's looking real hard, and he's all over the place up here and looking around, flashlight and stuff, and turns around, steps back, closes the door, and I'm like, so for this was like a split second. I'm just like, I'm good. Like, thank you, Lord. I'm just like in my mind, thank you, Lord. Comes back to the back passenger seat and starts looking around. I'm like, oh man, please just stop looking in my car. You haven't found anything. And he's in there for a couple seconds, and then like he turns around and he's like, oh, Mr. Kaufer. And he turns around, his flashlight's on it, like in the palm of his hand. There's like a ball of foil and shining the light, shining on it. I thought there wasn't anything in your vehicle. And I said, because I honestly did not know, like it being there. Later on, I thought about it. And this is just like after I thought about while I was in rehab and stuff, I started thinking about everything. And like this point came across. And there was a point where I was camping and was using drugs on foil, and I hadn't used it all. So, and when you're addicted, you're not just going to throw something away. So I folded it up and I just like shoved it underneath the back seat, thinking, oh, that's a good spot, you know. Anyways, months later, this all comes back to bite me in the butt, I guess, but it turned for a positive, so that's a good thing. But at that time, I didn't remember it. Okay, I was just like, so much other stuff was on my mind and had happened since then. I'm just like, I don't know, and I'm just like, maybe it was somebody in my car, you know, that my car's been gone all day, and you see how it looks now compared from a couple months ago. Like I said, that did not change until tonight. Okay, so I'm pretty certain it was theirs, but I did make it known because I understood the law and I just wanted to be respectful with the cop. I'm not going to stand there and argue with them. Okay, and I'm going to tell everybody here, if you're driving a vehicle, okay, and there is something in your vehicle that is illegal, whether it is yours or not, if they find you with it, this is your vehicle, it is your responsibility. Okay, that is the law to the best of my understanding. And so, unless somebody else in the car, if there is somebody else in the car, confesses and they're like, yeah, that's mine, you know, it is yours. Do not argue with them, okay? Just accept it. So that happens, and I tell him that, and he starts questioning me some more and stuff, and, you know, where are you going tonight? And I said, well, I'm trying to get to my mom's house. He said, well, you're not driving there. I said, well, I know that. And we're going on a little bit more. He gives me a field sobriety test. I have no idea how I scooted past that. I shouldn't have, but I did. And then they start asking me if I would be willing to work for them, be an informant and stuff like that. And so, I just at this point, I'm telling them everything that I think that they want to hear. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, officer, I'll work for you. Yes, officer, like I'd definitely be willing to be an informant. I had no intentions on doing that at the time. Thinking back, I kind of wish that I did, because, you know, at this point right now in my life, I'd be all willing to. Okay, like the devastation that these drugs cause is just phenomenal. It is unreal. And like, I get at first, you know, people are just trying to have some fun, but that's the problem. It's just not like a couple day bit of fun. It's like, I watched people who never used drugs in their life do a little bit of meth, and like that was it for them. Their whole life just turned to addiction and meth after that point. And it's like, out of everybody I saw, you know, maybe like 2 people, I saw a lot of people try meth for the first time. Maybe out of all those people, I saw 2 people like try it and was like, no, that's not for me. The rest of them became full-blown addicts. We all did. So anyways, yes, officer, I'll work for you for sure, you know, because in my mind, I'm like, if I tell them this, you know, they're going to let me go and I can go do some more drugs. Like, that's all your mind is focused on when you become an addict. So he's like, all right, well, I'm going to let you walk to your mom's house. He said, here's the thing. If we do not get a call from you tomorrow morning, because you got to talk to an informant officer now. If we don't get a call from you tomorrow morning, we're going to charge you with everything. All right, officer, sounds great. You know, I could care less. It's like, he's going to let me walk. So start walking. He's like, well, you have a good night, Tyler. Hope not to see you again. I said, same for you, officer. Thank you very much. Off I go. Start walking to my mom's house. It's just a little bit of ways away. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, where did that foil come from? And how did he not find my bags? Like, he's a state police officer. Like, Pennsylvania state police officers are top of the line. Like, they're not dummies, they're not stupid. Like, they are trained to search a car. Like, they will go through training for that. So it's like, how did he not find this? Where did the foil come from? That's all that's going through my mind. I get to my mom's house. It's late. I'm pounding on her door because I'll just plain out say it. I was a piece of shit drug addict at that point, and I'm not trying to like make drug addicts feel bad or anything, but as a drug addict myself, a recovering one now, I can say yes, I was a piece of crap. Okay, I'm pounding on her door, and she comes. She has work the next day, and it just turns into this big fighting match. And Mom, I'm so sorry that happened. I wish that it never did, but it did. Next day, I go out to my car. I'll leave my mom's house, and I'm walking towards my car, and I'm just like thinking in my head, I'm like, there's probably an officer watching my car because they know it's illegal, and they're just waiting for me to come get it, and so they can charge me and stuff like that. And I get in the car, and I'm walking up to it. I go to get in the car. There's no cops around. I'm like, all right. I go to get in the car, and as soon as I jump in, turn the ignition switch, I look down, like where I thought I put the drugs at, or I thought they were underneath the seat, but I looked down. They are out in the open on the floor, like plain as day. Like, all I had to do was like look down from like where I'm sitting right now in this car, just like imagine looking down at your passenger side. Like, right there they were, out in the open. Not hidden. They weren't even sitting one on top of each other. They were both like separated. And it's like, how did a state police officer's flashlight go over that and not see it? As hard as he was searching through my car, how did he not see that? And the only thing that I can contribute that to is the words I said as I was placing the drugs, trying to hide them. I said, "Dear God, please do not let him find this." And he didn't. Okay, and I'm not saying like that's just how God works. He's gonna like get you out of trouble when you're in illegal stuff. The thing is, he has a whole plan. Okay, and like for me, I just call it my tailor-made deal, because he did not leave. He did not. God was with me forever. It just like I just had to like finally meet him. And this is all coming towards throughout my addiction. This is all coming forward, and it was like a tailor-made deal just for me, because this spread out over like 5 years of just like random little things happening that all led eventually towards my sobriety and towards a positive and just like a total change in a mindset in life and everything. And that is the only thing I can contribute that to. It's like, but also too, when you look back at it, it's like I asked God for the officers not to find that. And this is where the tailor-made deal comes in, because God had said, I'm just speculating here, God had said, all right, Tyler, no, I'm not going to let him find that. That is a one-way trip to jail with the amount of drugs that was there, I think. But he's just like, that is a one-way trip to jail. I don't want you going to jail. Okay, you're not meant for jail. You shouldn't go to jail. I don't want you there. That is not my plan for you. But you're not getting away with this, because it's time to start working, okay? And it's time to start. This is going to open up your eyes. This is God talking, by the way, just saying. I didn't hear any of this. This is just thoughts in my head. And he's like, so it's time to start changing around. And this little bit here is going to get you to the next step to where I want you to be. And that's what it was. Like, it led to the next story that I will share with you later. But I just want to say, like, God works in mysterious ways. It might be completely obvious in front of your face. It might be hidden little things. It might be, who knows? Okay? God works differently with everybody, but he's working constantly on us, even whenever we don't think he is, we don't want him to be, anything. He is there. He's not leaving. He's not going anywhere. He wants to meet you. Okay? All you have to do, for me, unfortunately, it took me hitting rock bottom to start seeing all this stuff. And that does not happen for everybody. And I really hope that it wouldn't. I really wish that people wouldn't have to hit rock bottom to discover all this. It's just, I did. And I want to share my experiences with you. Eventually, I know this video is getting a little long, but eventually I want to like talk about some other things and whatnot. But I just want to like really get this out there right now. I feel like people need to hear like how God is working in modern times right now to different people and stuff. And hopefully eventually too, I want to say I hope my videos get a little bit better. I'm sure there's people out there who don't want to sit for a half hour and listen to me, but I don't know. Like for me, I listen to like Joe Rogan and other podcasters. I love listening to like people just talk for hours. Like it works for me. Like I like it, and I like to hear different perspectives and different stories and that kind of thing. So eventually I kind of want to get into that. I'm not saying I'm trying to be Joe Rogan or anything. I'm just saying like I want to get into like some other topics and whatnot. But right now I just really want to like this God stuff. Like I feel like it's a good time to talk about it and just like show people like, you know, you might have heard stories in the Bible and whatnot. Well, I'm your modern day blind man. Okay, I'm your modern day crippled man who got up and walked. I'm your modern day blind man who opened my eyes and saw. Okay, I'm not trying to compare myself to those men. Those were great men in the Bible. Okay, and I'm not even trying to compare myself to them, but I'm just saying in modern times, you know, there are blind men, there are crippled people, and I was one of them, and I saw. Okay, I opened my eyes after being years blinded, and I saw because of God. And so yeah, so but eventually I hope that, you know, my videos get a little shorter and whatnot, maybe, or who knows, maybe even they get a little bit longer if people want that, who knows. But I just want to thank you for the support, thank you for watching. If I could ask one thing, if you really want to like support me, please just share my videos, and just get it out there across the board. Okay, the more ground I can cover, I think would be great. So if you could share my videos, also too, you know, I'm not opposed to like churches and rehabs if they want to ask me to like come and maybe talk and stuff like that, for um, uh, just a little bit or something like that. I don't know. I just want to throw it out there. I'm not opposed to that. So if you would like me to, I live in Center, Pennsylvania. I can't really like go to other states and stuff. I don't really have the means to do that. But around this area, if you're looking for, you know, somebody, you need somebody to come in, speak at a rehab, you want somebody to come into your church and talk a little bit, I'm open for it. Just shoot me a message or comment, something. Um, but yeah, so I hope you all guys all have a good day. I hope this all goes, continues. I want to keep continuing sharing this. I like doing this. And I really think it's helping me actually, along the way too. And I hope it helps you. So, like, share, and follow if you want to. And God bless you, and God bless America.